Welcome to SDN Tech Networking Podcast, world's first human-curated AI podcast.
Okay, so agentic AI. It's like everyone's talking about it as the next big thing in tech. It's supposed to change everything,
And
right?
the interesting thing is it's not just AI doing like one specific thing really well anymore.
Right. Like just recognizing a cat in a picture
Right.
or predicting the stock market.
Yeah.
But it's something much bigger.
It is.
Glass.
Agentic AI is about AI agents that can act independently to achieve like a certain goal. Think of it like having, highly specialized digital assistants, each with its own set of skills and the ability to like learn and adapt.
So instead of just like giving me the weather, this agent could, I don't know, book my whole vacation based on my preferences,
Yeah.
like find the cheapest flights, the best hotels,
Yeah.
even suggesting activities I might enjoy.
Precisely. And it's not just about like following instructions, it's about understanding your intent and figuring out the best way to get stuff done. Like having a team of, experts working behind the scenes to make your life easier.
Okay, that sounds amazing, but I gotta admit, it also sounds a bit like science fiction. How does it even work? What's the connection to all this buzz about generative AI and large language models?
Well, you're right to think of generative AI and LLMs. They're a crucial part of how these AI agents actually work.
Okay.
So imagine an agent that can understand your request, break it down into smaller steps, and then use different tools and data sources to actually accomplish those steps.
So if I ask my agent to plan a trip, it can use its LLM, like
Yep.
Brain, to understand what a trip entails and then figure out flights and accommodations, even local attractions, all while keeping my, preferences in mind.
Exactly. LLMs power the reasoning and language comprehension of these agents. They allow the agent to understand your intent, not just the words, and then actually act on it in a way that aligns with your goals.
Okay, so that's how LLMs fit into all of this. But how is agentic AI different from the AI we see in, I don't know, things like facial recognition or spam filters? That stuff's already pretty sophisticated.
Yeah, traditional AI is really good at like those specific tasks, but it's usually limited to a single area. Agentic AI kind of takes things further by combining multiple agents, each with their own expertise,
Okay.
to work together like a team.
So instead of having like one AI that's good at, say, writing emails, you could have a whole team of agents working together. One for writing, one for scheduling, one for research.
Exactly. It's about creating a system where specialized AI agents collaborate to automate complex processes. Imagine automating like a whole marketing campaign launch.
Sure.
One agent crafts the content, another one handles targeting, a third manages the outreach, and a fourth analyzes the results.
Wow. That's pretty powerful stuff.
Mhm.
So if agentic AI is like this orchestra, what are the different instruments? Are there different types of agents?
There are. And just like an orchestra needs different instruments to create a symphony, agentic AI relies on different types of agents to function effectively.
Okay, I'm all ears. What are some of the key types of agents out there?
Well, you can think of it like this. There are some agents that are reactive, some that are deliberative, and some are learning agents. Each kind of has its own way of approaching tasks.
Okay, that makes sense. So a reactive agent would be like what, like a quick draw artist, like just responding instantly to what it sees.
Yeah, exactly. Reactive agents are great for tasks that need, like a fast, predictable response. They operate on like pre-programmed rules, like a thermostat, adjusting the temperature
Oh,
based on a set point.
simple but effective.
Yeah.
What of these deliberative agents? They sound like they take a little bit more time to think things through.
Yeah, they do. Deliberative agents are more strategic. They have like a model of the world. They can simulate different actions and outcomes and then choose the one that's most likely to achieve their goal. Think of a chess-playing AI, carefully considering each move and its consequences.
Oh, so like a reactive agent is a sprinter, deliberative agent's a marathon runner.
Yeah.
Pacing itself for the long game.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. And then we have learning agents, which are constantly evolving based on experience.
So like students always soaking up new information and refining their approach.
Exactly. They learn from their interactions, feedback, even their mistakes. Imagine like a self-driving car. It's constantly updating its algorithms based on like the road conditions and its own, driving performance. That's a learning agent in action.
Oh, okay. So we've got our reactive agents for quick responses, deliberative agents for strategic planning, and learning agents for like continuous improvement.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Well, Sometimes it's not really about just choosing one type over another, right?
Right.
We often combine different approaches to create like a more versatile agent. That's called like a hybrid architecture.
So it's like mixing and matching different skills to
Right.
create like the ultimate all-rounder.
Exactly. A hybrid agent might use reactive rules for, simple tasks and then deliberative planning for the more complex decisions, all while learning and adapting along the way.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's about finding the right tool or combination of tools for the job. But how do we even know if these agents are doing a good job? Like, how do we evaluate their performance?
That's a really crucial question. Um, we need to have ways to measure how well these agents are achieving their goals,
Hmm.
and whether they're doing so in a responsible and ethical way.
So it's not just about like efficiency, but also about making sure they're operating within certain, boundaries.
Absolutely. We need to consider things like accuracy, reliability, fairness, and even the potential, impact on society. It's about ensuring that these really powerful tools are being used for good.
Speaking of impact on society, I can imagine this technology like raising a lot of questions and concerns. What are some of the challenges we need to be thinking about as agentic AI becomes more, widespread?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is privacy. These agents often need to collect and analyze vast amounts of data to function effectively, and that, raises concerns about how that data is being used and protected.
Right, because if my AI agent is like booking my travel, managing my finances, even scheduling my doctor's appointments, it's going to have access to a lot of sensitive information. How do we make sure that data doesn't end up in the wrong hands?
Yeah, that's where things get tricky, right? We need to develop robust security measures and regulations to ensure that data is handled responsibly and ethically. It's about striking a balance between the benefits of personalization and the need to protect individual privacy.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but also about like the ethical and societal implications. We need to have these conversations now to ensure that we're developing agentic AI in a way that benefits, everyone.
Exactly. And it's not just about privacy, right? There
Right.
are also concerns about bias, transparency, and accountability.
Wait, bias.
Yeah.
How can AI be biased?
Well, AI systems are trained on data, right? And that
Uh-huh.
data can reflect, existing biases in society.
Hmm.
If we're not careful, those biases can be amplified by the algorithms, leading to, unfair or discriminatory outcomes.
So if like an AI agent is helping with hiring decisions, it could potentially perpetuate like existing biases against certain groups of people.
Yeah, that's a real concern. We need to develop techniques to identify and mitigate bias in both the data and the algorithms
Hmm.
to ensure that these systems are fair and equitable.
And what about transparency and accountability? What does that even mean in the context of AI agents?
Transparency means being able to, understand how these systems work, what data they're using, and how they make decisions. Accountability means having mechanisms in place to identify and address any negative consequences that might, arise from their actions.
So it's about making sure these systems aren't like black boxes
Yeah.
and that there's someone who can be held responsible if things go wrong.
Exactly. It's about building trust and ensuring that these, very powerful technologies are used in a way that aligns with human values.
This is all really thought-provoking. It seems like we're at a crossroads with this agentic AI. We have this incredible technology that has the potential to, transform our lives for the better, but we also need to be mindful of the potential risks and challenges.
You've hit the nail on the head. We are at a pivotal moment, and it's crucial that we navigate this new landscape carefully and thoughtfully.
Okay, so we've talked about the different types of AI agents, their architectures, the challenges they present, and the need for ethical considerations.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? What does the future hold for agentic AI?
Yeah.
It feels like we're on the verge of something huge. Like when the internet first, started taking off.
Yeah.
Back then, nobody could have predicted how much it would change, well, everything.
You're absolutely right. The internet, I mean, that was a total game changer. And Agentic AI has that same like disruptive potential.
Yeah.
It's about to like fundamentally change the way we live, work, interact with the world around us.
It's exciting, but also a little intimidating, right? Just like with the internet, so much potential for good, but also some unknowns.
It's natural to feel that way.
Yeah.
Think back to the early days of the internet. There were concerns about, security, privacy, even the impact on human connection. But, we adapted, we learned, and we figured out ways to harness that power of the internet for good.
So you're saying we're going through a similar, like, growing phase with agentic AI. We need to figure out the rules of the road and make sure it benefits, humanity as a whole.
Exactly. Just like we developed protocols and regulations for the internet, we need to do the same for agentic AI. We need to establish, clear guidelines for data privacy, security, ethical development. We need to make sure that these systems are transparent, accountable, and aligned with human values.
It's a big task, but it sounds like we've learned some, valuable lessons from the internet revolution that we can apply to this new era of AI.
We have. And just as the internet opened up, countless opportunities for innovation and progress, I really believe that agentic AI has that potential to do the same. Imagine a world where these AI agents are helping us solve, some of the world's most pressing problems,
Hmm.
from, I don't know, climate change to disease prevention.
Yeah, that's a powerful thought. It's almost like we're entering a new age of collaboration,
Mm,
where humans and AI work together to create a better future.
precisely. It's not about AI, like, replacing humans, but
Got
about
it.
AI, augmenting human capabilities.
Mhm.
Think of it like a partnership where each side brings their own unique strength to the table.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of agentic AI, what's the one key takeaway you want listeners to walk away with?
I think the main thing is that agentic AI is here to stay. It's going to change the world as we know it, but the future isn't like predetermined. It's up to us to shape the development and deployment of this technology in a way that benefits, all of humanity. We need to be informed, engaged, and proactive in making sure that AI serves us, not the other way around.
Well said. So to our listeners, we encourage you to, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep the conversation going. The future of AI is in our hands.